Hi everyone, I'm Caroline Stevens, and this is another episode of Let's Talk. So, we've got with us this week a very interesting man, a literary agent, a book publisher. So, let's not waste any time and let's say hi to Rick Mayston. Hi, Rick.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for being with us tonight.
No, it's my pleasure. It's nice to be on this side of the fence for once.
I know, I was going to say that. Normally, it's you sitting in my chair. Well, not
Yeah,
this
no, this
exact
is
chair, but a chair like mine.
this is a
So,
new experience.
I know. So, for the purpose of everybody that's watching, let me tell you a little bit about Rick and he'll carry on. Rick is a literary agent and a book publisher, amongst being a very nice person. So, Rick, how did you start in your industry?
Well, I actually didn't start in this industry at all. Back in 1976, I was a graphic designer, and I started as a studio junior, and then I went freelance in the 90s. But then soon found that my old ways of using rotary pens and or rotaring pens and magic markers had been replaced very much with the Apple Mac. So became a bit of a dinosaur. So I took a couple of my old friends who were around the same age as me and were finding the same thing, and we formed a company that were going to produce and design sticker albums for football clubs, individual football clubs. And that didn't really take off because of the copyright issues. But what it did do was to get me into a company called All Sport. And All Sport were the leading sports content licensors in the country, and I found myself instead of going in there and researching pictures, they actually gave me a job, and I found myself being a researcher.
Wow.
So I kind of reinvented myself at the age of 37. All Sport got bought up by Getty Images, and I worked my way up to be the director of book publishing for Europe for Getty Images. I left
Fantastic.
there in 2013, and I'd already started back in 2011. I'd kind of become a literary agent without knowing what it was, because I was bringing in outside authors to work with our pictures and being proactive with our putting books together, and didn't realise that I was actually becoming a literary agent. And another literary agent, which I respect very much, called Jonathan Taylor, who has worked for Hachette and HarperCollins, told me that in 2011 and 2013, I was actually the most prolific non-fiction literary agent in the country. How true that is, I don't know, but simply because I was putting so many books through Getty.
Silverstorm Media PR. We are an online social media PR company. We have over 20 years' experience in this field, offering you the maximum exposure that you could possibly get on all the online social media platforms, including our very own TV show, Let's Talk. If you'd like online PR and would like to talk to one of our team, please email ssm.pr@hotmail.com or call us on 07919 954 636.
So in 2013, when I came back from the Frankfurt Book Fair, I started up as what I thought was going to be a traditional literary agent, and evolved organically really into a multimedia broker, because I started to use all of the other contacts that I had in newspapers and galleries, and found that I could take these books, not just license the books and agent the books, but take them into gallery exhibitions and Q&As and onto TV for dramas and documentaries, even apps and gaming. So everything kind of developed accidentally, which is sometimes, I guess, the best way.
Well, sometimes it's the best, isn't it? It's the best way. You know, when you don't actually plan something, you know, I think a lot of people spend a lot of, I mean, I'm not saying that planning things are not good. Obviously, we have to have some structure to our life and our careers. But sometimes I've found in my career, and a lot of it comes from, you've got a basic idea of what you're going to do, what it's all about, but then it all just falls together without actually doing a complete plan, you know, like a business plan.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's what happened to you.
It did, and I'm 62 now, so everything's happened to me sort of quite late in life. But I'm very happy that it has, because I love what I do, and I get to work with a lot of my heroes. We've got our own YouTube channel now. I've just done an interview with Samantha Fox, and she used to be a poster on my wall, and now
amazing.
here we are actually looking after us. So it's great. I get, as I say, I get to work with my heroes in sport, in music, in entertainment, and I'm quite lucky, I think.
Brilliant. So let's come to today. So now you are a book publisher. You've got this book publishing company where you publish. I mean, is it all kinds of books? Is it fiction, non-fiction? You know, autobiographies. You know, or is it just one genre?
At the moment, it's non-fiction, which means that what we're looking for, and I'll tell you how it came about. It came about because of COVID. It wouldn't have happened otherwise. And
again, not planned.
Again, it certainly wasn't planned. Nobody saw this coming. But what happened really was that in COVID, the only books that have got any chance of having any promotional activity, real promotion activity, is those by the ones that are seen on television all the time. So I think, you know, Richard Osman and a lot of the TV comedians are seen on television all the time. It's really easy to sell their books. So during COVID, the publishers have gone for those books, quite understandably, because they're the ones that they know.
That they can sell.
So the mid-range books, or as I call them, the mid-range books, haven't really had a chance to be commissioned in the way that they were before. So, and the reason for that is if a publisher feels that they may not be able to sell as many as their flagship books, they just won't commission them. So it's all about the production costs at the end of the day. So I approached a few publishers and said, look, I really want to get these books published because there's really great stories and really great books out there, but we need to take away the risks of the production costs. So instead of printing on demand, as it used to be called, this is very much print to order. And I found this wonderful guy in Idaho called Troy Lambert, who was running a company called Unbound, which is now called Mooney and Lambert, so that it doesn't get confused with the other Unbound that is known in the UK. And he felt the same way. He felt the same way as I do. And now we co-publish these books, and we print to order. So that doesn't mean that it's just directly from the publisher. It means they're available on Amazon, and they're available in bookshops, unlike print on demand.
Wow.
But we have to have orders first. That takes away the risk for the publisher. And I can see other bigger publishers doing this in the future as well, because it's all about the production cost risks.
Yes, of course.
To why they're not commissioned. What you do have to do is to choose subject matters which you can make sure that has got a big audience, a big fan base, a big amount of interest that you can put across the social media platforms. And that's why we choose subjects like divorce, which you can see the new book in the background.
Yeah, which I'm going to ask you about that in a minute.
But we choose sport. We'll be publishing Sam Fox's autobiography this year. We're publishing the autobiography of John Lyons, who is probably better known as George in A Touch of Frost, because those programs have a lot of support. They have a lot of interest, and we know that we can pick up those pre-orders. So we're very, very careful in the people we pick and the subject matters that we pick to make sure that we've got the numbers before we go to them.
Okay, so you're actually, although at the moment you're doing non-fiction, I want to ask you about fiction now. So you're obviously the best person to ask this question to. So for all budding authors out there who are writing fiction, what advice would you give them about, how to get a chance of getting their books published? What would be the best way? I mean, a lot of them are writing books, bringing them out on Amazon themselves. Which is great. It's a great, platform, Amazon, for people, to do that. But there's nothing better than having a reputable publisher behind you. So what advice would you give to budding fiction writers?
I think the first advice I'd give them, Caroline, is be realistic. Everybody is at the moment, especially during COVID, there's more people writing books than ever before. I have to say, sadly, 99.9% of them are probably not going to be seen or be self-published, and the only people that are ever going to read it are family and friends and friends of the family. So you're not going to become rich overnight. I would say strike a balance. Find a subject matter that is popular, but bring a different twist to it. But also make sure that you get yourself an agent. I was just going to ask you that, the importance of having a literary agent. Yeah, it is incredibly important, because a lot of publishers will only read manuscripts that have come from an agent. Otherwise, they just get bombarded completely by individuals saying, here's my manuscript, what do you think? It will get thrown in the bin. They haven't got time. Which is a shame, really. It is a shame, but it's a matter of time. To be honest, I have to do the same thing. Otherwise, I don't have time. I get a lot of people on LinkedIn saying, I've written a book. I don't deal with, I only have one fiction author on my books, and that's a fantastic guy called Dougie Brimson, who I also interviewed. But he's got 17 best-selling books out, and has also written three or four feature films that people know. So there was a slight difference there with Dougie, but he's an exception to my rule. Other than that, I try to stick to my genre that I know, because when you get to the publishers, the commissioning editors have specialities as well. So I would say to any author, have a little look. If you're trying to find someone on LinkedIn, have a little look at what their specialities are. Don't just go to any agent, because if the agent specializes in non-fiction, they won't know any commissioning editors in fiction.
No,
it's not their genre. So find someone who wants to take you on, who is your genre and knows those commissioning editors. But in terms of subject matter, try and find something that is popular and in vogue. And you can see that just by, when the bookstores open again on April the 12th, go into a Waterstones and have a look at what's in the window. Have a look at what's on the table.
Yeah.
Because they are the books that the shop itself is trying to promote. They're the flagship books.
Okay. So everybody who is a budding author, and I know there's a lot of you out there, because actually some of you have messaged me about, asking me advice about books, and I can't give you any advice about books. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted Rick on this episode, so that for all of you that have asked me, and for everybody that's watching who are budding authors, just take heed of what Rick has just said. Silverstorm Media PR. We are an online social media PR company. We have over 20 years experience in this field. Offer you the maximum exposure that you could possibly get on all the online social media platforms, including our very own TV show, Let's Talk. If you'd like online PR and would like to talk to one of our team, please email ssm.pr@hotmail.com or call us on 07919 954 636. So, can I ask you another question? You've had an amazing career, worked with some amazing people, represented some amazing people. Is there, and obviously your speciality is non-fiction, biographies, stuff like that. Is there anybody? I mean, let me put it another way. If I said to you, Rick, you could choose anyone that you could represent to write their biography, who would it be?
Oh, that's a great question. I think, I'm a great lover of sport. I'm a great lover of comedy. So it would have to be a sportsman or a comedian. My hero in sport was always Jimmy Greaves, because I grew up in the 60s. Jimmy Greaves was my hero, but I've kind of already worked with him, and we've got a book coming out on the Spurs legends. So I think it would have to be in comedy. And right now, my big hero is Larry David. And I would love to work with Larry David.
Wow. Well, maybe we can arrange that. You never know. You never know.
Very, very happy man. I know he's also a hero for Ricky Gervais as well, so I share that with him.
Brilliant. So let us all know now that what books you've got. I can see behind you, you're advertising The D Word. Tell us a bit about that book and how people can buy it.
Well, this is a book that's been written by relationship expert Lisa Palmer and Lucinda Ellery, who has her own company. And it's a humorous, it's a light-hearted book about a very, very serious and important subject, and that is divorce. And I think most books on divorce have really sort of excuse me, covered the basis of what it's like to go through divorce, and a lot of the basic elements of it. This is the first book that I've come across, and this is why I've agented it, that covers absolutely everything. So this isn't just about the legal side of the divorce and the financial side of the divorce. It's also about making yourself feel better as well. I mean, it's written for women, but men can read it as well. I mean, everybody goes through, or not everybody, but a lot of people go through difficult divorces, and what happens is that those people lose confidence. This is really about how to get your confidence back. So whether it's legal issues, financial issues, looking good in terms of makeup and clothing, fitness, it covers absolutely everything. And there are experts right the way through the book. Now, a lot of people will know Lisa from appearances on TV, because she runs a company called Mogul Matchmakers, and she puts high level people together, and quite discreetly. But if people watch my interview with her on our YouTube channel, you'll see that she's been through a lot of this herself, so she knows what she's talking about. But it's the pieces by the experts as well that really make a difference to this book. And
Brilliant.
Anybody who has gone through a divorce or is going through a divorce and just wants to know how to make themselves feel better,
Yeah,
I think this is the perfect book.
Brilliant. So where can people pre-order this book?
It's on Amazon, so you can order it from Amazon. But also it's available from the publisher, directly from the publisher in Idaho, Mooney and Lambert. So if you put Mooney and Lambert into Google, you can buy it directly from them. The distributors are in the UK, so it's not as if you've got to wait for it to come from
Well, I'll
the US.
put I'm gonna show everybody in a second across the bottom of this screen where you can actually get this book from.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. Yeah. That's brilliant.
So what is the future for, what's happening in the future for you?
Well, we've out of COVID, the company has changed direction somewhat, because we never expected to be co-publishers. So this year we have books coming out on so many different subjects. After this will be a book called My Eyes Have Seen the Glory, which for Spurs fans is a must read. It's legend.
That's me.
Well, me as well. 40 legends of the Lane, and going right back to the 1950s. But it is being released on May the 6th, which is exactly 60 years since Spurs won the double in 1961. So we've deliberately decided
a very poignant date.
Yeah, but it can be pre-ordered before then. There's 40 different legends of the Lane that have done interviews with a guy called Toby Benjamin. There's some great writing in there as well by a guy called Alan Fisher. And we have the wonderful artwork of Paul Trevelyan that is in there. And he used to draw Roy of the Rovers, and I agent him for his You Are the Ref and You Are the Umpire books. And he is 86 going on 21.
Wow.
And an amazing man, can still draw a straight line without a ruler, and I can't even do that. So
no, me neither.
So he's absolutely brilliant, and it uses the photography of colour sport, because another one of the things that I did for Agent Fox Media during lockdown was to form a multimedia partnership with Colour Sport, which are the oldest football content agency in the world.
So you've been pretty busy during lockdown.
We've been incredibly busy during lockdown, and my wife Beverly and myself have very few hours sleep, would love to binge watch TV. We try and get to do that at the weekends, but neither of us have ever been 9 to 5.
So how is Beverly doing? Give her my love.
I will do. She's out at the moment, but yeah, no, we're doing fine. She does her part, and I do my part, and she's been integral to the business, really, because her skill sets are completely different to mine, and so she has come on board as the COO and part owner of the business. Because she's worked as a project manager and a program director in the financial industry, in the insurance industry, and also for the British Transport Police. So her skill sets have been absolutely invaluable.
Well, they obviously complement each other, don't they?
Yeah, they really do, because I negotiate deals and I'm obviously creative and have all the contacts which I built up through my time at Getty Images, and we'll always be very, very thankful for that. But the two of us working together means that we can bring a lot of this.
That's wonderful, wonderful. It's a bit like David and I. We work together. You know, some people say, like, what's it like working with your husband or your wife like 24/7? It's not, you know, they think it's not normal. Oh, we would be arguing all the time. But actually, you know, obviously we have disagreements because we're human. But you know, what it's like for me, well, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love working with my husband. You know, it's what we do.
Well, I hope that that we do exactly, because it's fine now. So I hope that we can do it for as many years as you and David have.
Yeah, and I hope so too. I hope so too. So, Rick, basically, anything you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to ask me? I'm sure you don't.
No, I just we have our own YouTube channel. We look after Samantha Fox. We've just done an interview with her, and Sam has put this across all her social media. And I looked at the numbers overnight, and it's gone absolutely nuts. And unbelievably, a lot of the people that are viewing the interview have come from India, and that's because Sam. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Sam did a Bollywood film, and ever since she did that Bollywood film, she's been amazingly popular. Out in Asia.
She's also very popular out in Russia. I don't know if you know that, but she really is, because she, you know, with the record, with the album, with the rock album that she's doing, which you know that T Green's involved with. Yeah. They've been touring, you know, all over the place in Russia before, obviously, COVID. So yeah, she's got a lot of fans.
She has got a lot of fans. And actually, while you're mentioning T Green, what I will do is give a shout out to T, because we tried for a long time to through Getty Images. I have great contacts with all the book publishers and the top people at the book publishers, and I'd like to give a shout out to Craig Glenday and Amber Georgina Gill, who were the two people that I dealt with at Guinness World Records. And even though they've been in lockdown, they worked really hard to get T's certificate to him, which they now have done. And of course, he now has the record for the longest recorded note of 39 seconds.
The world record.
So very proud, a world record, yeah. And we were very proud to be the ones that got him in there. And if anyone's seen that latest picture of him holding his certificate, they'll be able to see how proud he is of it.
Yeah, I know. He's very proud. He sent me the picture. Very proud. I mean, I absolutely adore T. I absolutely adore him.
He's an absolutely lovely man, and he's got the most amazing voice.
Well, he's got a new single coming out. Did you know that?
Yeah, we ought to plug that as well, because he definitely deserves all the success he gets.
He certainly does. I mean, he's doing something completely different to what he's usually done. But he's got usually he does covers and stuff, but he's doing an original song, which is being released, I believe, the end of this month or beginning of April. He's shooting a video, which is a bit difficult because we're in lockdown, but he's going to do it with all the regulations and all the regs in place. But it's a great song and a great singer, and that will be out very, very soon, within about 3 weeks.
Excellent. That's great news.
Yeah, it is. So, Rick, we're running out of time. And it's been great speaking to you. You make me smile every time I see you. It's that infectious smile of yours. That's what it is.
Well, I don't know about that. Beverly might not agree with you there, but but no, it's been great sitting this side of the interview. It's been a nice change.
And you did notice I let you speak.
I did. But
David would say that's a change for me.
Sounds like both of our other halves see us differently.
Yeah. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So everybody, thank you for watching. Don't forget the book, D Word. You can buy, pre-order it on Amazon, and keep watching Let's Talk, because in the future I'll be letting you know what other books that are coming out by Mooney and Mooney and
Lambert in cooperation with
Fox Media. Brilliant. So keep watching. In the future we'll let you know what else the companies have got coming out, and also you can check us out on our YouTube channel, Silverstorm Media TV, on all our social media, which is Silverstorm Media. And of course, Rick, if you want to let everybody know where they can find everything out about all your books, all the social sites.
It's www.agentfoxmedia.com is our website. There's a number of pages there. You'll be able to see all our YouTube videos there.
Brilliant.
Our social media sites are accessible from there, and you can see what the latest news is on what we're doing. But I'll give you a great plug as well, because this is a great channel and everyone should subscribe to Silverstorm Media. Subscribe now.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, darling. Been a pleasure. God bless.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.